Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to go through CVNA, which was the Bullseye pick of the week. For you guys not familiar with Bullseye, it's basically a options trade that comes out from Jeff Bishop. He sends it out on Monday mornings around market open, and it's often very volatile. And it's at the moment it's one of the best services out there if you're timing your entries and exits just right. So, wanted to show you the chart in CVNA, show you some people's results, and talk a little bit about why people might have given up on services like Bullseye Trades, that one pick every Monday. The other thing I want to talk about very quickly is Nate Bear Profit Surge Trader. This is another Monday, exclusively Monday alert service where basically you get 2 to 3 options calls for the week. Sometimes last a little bit longer than that. But you get a good live stream, which is really quite informative. There's a lot of beginners in the chat though, you can see. But I did a review on this, and for quarter one, Nate Bear barely had a losing trade. From his core trades, he alerted he didn't really have any losing trades. Some of the bonus trades, I think, were losers, but overall, it was an absolutely amazing performance. And then he went on to have kind of a rough quarter two so far, and I'll talk a little bit more about this towards the end of this video, where a lot of people are doing what they've done with Bullseye Trades, where it goes through a bad period, they give up and just like move on to something else, and they repeat that cycle endlessly, going through endless different alert services. So if that's you, you might want to watch this video to the end. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in more detail. But let's go through CVNA really quickly so you can kind of get a feel for what Bullseye Trades are, if you're not familiar with them. I do a video like this every Saturday though, usually, just going through the trade. So this is the email you get on Monday mornings. This one was last Monday, so my Bullseye pick that I want to buy this week is CVNA calls. They're always options trades. You can buy the stock if you want, but they're always like a options trade for maybe 2 to 3 weeks out. So, you know, you're talking a couple of weeks usually. So the usual hold time is about a week, sometimes a bit longer, sometimes a lot shorter, like a day. So recently they've been going up really fast in a day. This one was actually back to what it was like when I was playing them all the time, and it actually had a really nice dip buy, which a lot of people could have taken advantage of. However, there's a problem there, and we'll talk about that as well. Anyway, so he doesn't give much information in the emails. Basically, he just gives the bare minimum, what the stop loss is, what the profit targets are, what the particular options contracts are. But he keeps you up to date in the app and also in the comments below, as you'll see. So you're not left completely by yourself with this type of trade. And I'll leave a link in the description to purchase Bullseye Trades for the best possible price as well, for you guys that want to do that. So CVNA, this is the chart for the last week. This is Monday pre-market on the left, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you can see a lot happened. If you look on the scale, hopefully you can see this, but there was a 10% move up and a 10% move down. So from 102 to 115. So there's about 15% roughly range on this. So that's the stock. So can you imagine what the options did? Well, they doubled or tripled from the low here to the high here. The problem is timing that move, right? So what's been happening recently is these trades have been just taken off. And unfortunately, a lot of people probably got burned on this one. It didn't look like it too much from the comments. I'll show you the comments that people were leaving. But if you jumped in this one like the rest of them, you'd have been kind of shocked because it really sold off massively all the way down to the stop loss. Now remember, it's a close below the stop. And so in here he has the stop loss. Let's see, where are we? Right here. As a close below 105. And so it actually did close on Tuesday below 105 right here. But it was pretty much right at 105. So it was actually probably a good entry if you're wanting the best like risk reward. Entering on the Tuesday at the close would have been the best time. And I used to do this all the time with these trades. But again, this year they've been taking off so fast on the Monday and not actually dipping on the Tuesday. So when I was doing this was 2022. There was almost always this type of price action. Bit of a spike, wait, buy on the Tuesday, often near the stop loss, and then you'd get a run into the end of the week. So it was nice to see this happen again. But again, it's going to be difficult to trade these, and that's my biggest complaint about Bullseye trades at the moment, is it's very difficult to trade them. So basically, you'd have had to wait for the dip buy, and the people that did that were massively rewarded with 200% gains on some of the options on this move into Wednesday, which is really cool. So yeah, so it never did hit the target, which was like 125 or something crazy, like a way up here. But it doesn't need to, because this is such a big move on the underlying stock. The options move so dramatically. So yeah. So let's have a look at some of the comments. So the first comment is, "Wow, Jeff, what a beautiful day for CVNA. Bought at 0.53, sold at 180. So from 53 cents to $1.80. Thanks, Jeff Bishop, Jeff Williams, Jason and the team." So obviously this guy's a fan of Raging Bull. And yeah. And so Bishop said, "Nice trade, very nice rebound for CVNA." Then this guy got really mad. He's like, "Wow, Jeff, please do not refer to this trade as a win. What a disgrace. I'll have to avoid your trades for a while." Okay, so that brings me... So people were loving these trades. So you can see how things can be very different with the same alert service. Things can be very different from person to person, depending on how much personal responsibility the person takes for their own trades. So for me, if I traded this and I missed it and I'm so bogged down with other stuff, I'd have used my Algo Pro, which is this indicator right here. And if this was at the start on Monday, if this was above, significantly above the alert price, I'd have waited for a dip buy on the Tuesday, and seeing this confirmation on the buy signal in Algo Pro, and I'll leave a link, it's a really good indicator. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go and buy that. This would have represented a really good risk reward for me, because it's close to the stop, so I know I'm not losing much money at all. I have a buy indicator on Algo Pro in the 5 minutes, and you can see that really worked out well. So did the sell signal. There's some fake outs, but overall it's a really good tool to use. And so I would have said, okay, well, if it's a close below 105, I'm going to be pretty happy here if, you know, it closes below 105, because I'm already in. So I might have just taken this little move, but it would have still been like a 10 or 20% gain on the options contracts. Or if I'd been feeling brave, held it overnight and made massive profits like some people did. So that's one way you can do it, or you could use your own technical analysis with moving averages or support and resistance. Like you could zoom out and see what this looks like in terms of support and resistance. So look here. I'm just going to get rid of Algo Pro here. So, you know, like on this, so let's go to the Monday. So it's like right here. So this was the dip. You can see it dipped to support around this line here. So this was the week before. I'll just draw that line in. You can see there's support that started about here and is actually maintaining all the way till Friday here. So just stuff like that, you know, like we dipped hard here. The chances of a bounce here are quite high because we have some support back here as well. So, you know, you could use some of your own brain power to figure out, like, okay, maybe this is a good dip buy entry. I'm not going to chase it up high. That's why you get such conflicting reports. Like, one guy's like, wow, this is amazing. Next guy's like, this is a disgrace. Like, how dare you? So Jeff responded to that with, all of those trades actually made very big moves on the day of the alert. Trading isn't easy, but the opportunity has been there, and that's true. Sorry if things didn't work out for you yet. I also communicated pretty clearly that I was selling all of my position yesterday. So yeah, bought on the dip at 137. Great call, bro. And then, yeah. So, good morning, Jeff. Great bullseye pick. Just curious, you got in the 120 calls at 135. Did you buy at the market price? And he said, actually, no, I put in a bid for 165 and it got filled near the open. Had to sell off at the open today, which I'm assuming was the Tuesday, right? But not completely sure. Anyway, that brings me to the last point that I wanted to make, which I kind of brought up at the start of the video here. So somebody in my Discord posted this, which is a repost of something on social media. I thought it was really interesting. So basically saying professional versus amateur traders, and this is why some people love services and some people hate the same services because these rules still apply. Like if you're trading by yourself or if you're following somebody, these rules still apply. So you can see the professional trader traits and then the amateur trader traits that run over onto this page. And I don't want to go through these point by point. You can just kind of pause the video if you want to read them and try and show the full screen. So basically, I'm trying to zoom in just a little bit. One of the things that a professional trader, or you could say a successful trader, does is they take consistent action. So they don't give up after 1 or 2 losses. So they continue making the same trades even after consecutive losses. And I've seen that with Nate Bear's stuff. He keeps taking the same trades even when he's losing. And eventually he comes out with a positive expectancy. And so continue making the same trades even after consecutive losses. So there was a period where Bullseye trades, and there's a period at the moment where Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader has been going through a downturn. There's been a lot of losing trades. And a lot of people immediately switch off because usually they're over positioned. So one of my top tips is to make sure you're positioning really small in these alert services and backtesting if you can. And if you can backtest and confirm that there's an edge in the system, that these guys are really making money, then you can consistently take their trades even through consecutive losses, even up to like 5-6 losses in a row. As long as you're positioned with small positions, you can continue to trade their system, as long as you're convinced that it's a winning system in the long run. Obviously, if it's not, all these rules go out the window. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. You can pause the video if you want and read the professional traits, and then the amateur traits are on the right here, and the significant difference between the professional and amateur lies in the consistency. Professionals maintain consistent behavior without changing the system. That means not giving up on alert services when they're going through a downturn in the profitability. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. Hopefully it's helpful. Thanks to Alan in the Discord for posting that. It's a repost, I think, from another Discord. So hopefully that person sees that and and is glad that I shared it, because I think it's one of the most useful pieces of advice that you can get at this point. Alright guys, talk to you soon.